on too bad an idea. Do you want to try that?
Actually, I think we normally do that.
Yeah, never mind. We don't need you guys. Anyways, we see that these probes have passed by each other. Well, White-Ra a little bit slow on the uptake here. He's scouted across the map, and now JF realizes that has he realized that's what's happening? Yes, in fact, his probe is going through the center. Oh, he's just checking out the Panda Bear guy there.
You got to see the Panda Bear guy and how he's doing. He's not on that many maps anymore. It's too bad. That creature seems to be going extinct as time passes.
I wonder if he'll be in StarCraft 2.
They put all the Panda Bear guys at once on Outsider. No different scouting patterns here. One player checking in cross locations. So he had his different build. If his opponent is in either the two proxy locations. We do see no two-gate play, nothing out of the ordinary yet. No, excuse me.
Up in JF's base, we do have a Citadel of a Dune going up. And that means that we're going to see a Dark Templar rush. Little invisible guys that deal ridiculous amounts of damage will be trying to climb up through White-Ra's base to kill him. And this is quite interesting because JF does not go Dark Templars. That is not something JF does, okay? This guy... We call him the God of Reavers, you know, one of his accomplishments. I mean, this guy has so many accomplishments, and it's written in his player profile that he has good Reavers. There is a reason for that, because this guy's Reavers are actually so ridiculously good that it's like pro gamer level. So, I mean, whenever he goes Reavers, chances are he's going to take the game.
And, you know, not scouting this DT tech is really going to hurt Intel, more important in this matchup than anything else. So, look, if he does not get the necessary detection in time, he's going to be in for a world of hurt, and it's two gateway DTs. So he's really focused on doing some damage here early on with the Dark Templars. It's not just about getting his opponent out of position so he can expand himself.
That's right, but White-Ra, down in his main base, just above his gateway, we see a robotics facility coming in. So, you know, hopefully he does not do the Reaver expand that I know White-Ra does love. Oh, he's adding a second gateway above his ramp, so definitely we should be seeing a quick observer out of him. Now, here is the funny part about this. Normally, if you open up with an observer, you send it on the normal walking path to the other Protoss base. So if JF decides to send the DTs on a little detour around, he may be able to skip past that observer and do a lot of damage anyways. But if he does not, then it might turn out to be a little bit hard for him, as White-Ra has, you know, slightly better tech for the early game.
Of course, when you go DTs, you want to make sure that you keep those alive, even if you don't do any damage. You got to keep them outside of your opponent's base, because otherwise, White-Ra is just going to push you with those Reavers after he techs. There is also the option of getting observers here and getting a Nexus. It kind of depends on what he thinks his opponent's going to do. Another thing to note here is that JF's tech is not safe against Dark Templars. Now, obviously, White-Ra isn't going for Dark Templars himself, but what this does say is he's doing a little bit of a risky build here. Battle! If we can look at the southern part of the map here, he just wants to see if there are any cannons there he could snipe. There are none. The DTs are slipping inside of the main.
Oh, wow. This is really bad news for White-Ra. He does have an observer coming out, but these DTs, they kill probes in one hit, and they may be able to kill a whole lot. Will he target? He is targeting the robotics facility. This is a risky maneuver here, because if that observer pops out, he did not kill any probes that he could have killed a lot of. But the observer looks like it will pop out, and these DTs are going to be destroyed without actually doing any damage whatsoever. So that was a risky gambit. He tried to go for a straight-up insta-win, but instead he did no damage with those Dark Templars, and now it looks like White-Ra is in good shape here.
For a second, I was going to say White-Ra would have to change his name to Won't-Ra, but instead I guess it's going to be Will-Ra, because he's actually completely deflected this attack. Now remember, JF did go for a very, very quick tech here. The other DT's been spotted here. If he takes that out, there's really not a whole lot that JF can do to stop White-Ra from attacking. Really, only 3 Dragoons here. He could use probes to try to help defend, but the reality of the situation is that there's almost no way that JF is going to be able to stop this attack.
That's right, and the probe drill actually hurting JF more than White-Ra. This game is not looking like it's going to go for our ex-TSL champion, and he did not open Reavers, so let's chalk that one up on my chalkboard, Tasteless.
Oh, and there it is, GG. I think a very interesting game, a little bit textbook, but very good as well. So we have a 1-0 lead right now for the Ukrainian Beast from the East.
Yeah, I don't really know why JF decided to play that game like that. It looks like he's trying to go for, insta win in two ways. He takes the quick Nexus right after his DTs to try to get ahead economically, and he just targets the Robo. That seems wrong. If you're going to take the quick Nexus, maybe target the units, okay? Maybe target the probes. When you're targeting the Robo, you're trying to get this free win. And why would you expand when you're trying to get a free win? Because either you're going to win off it by killing that Robo, or you're going to lose off of it because you've made the Nexus, you have no units, and your DTs did no damage. So really, JF's play there was kind of garbage, Tasteless.
Well, I think, yeah, you're right. His decision-making was very poor. In a moment like that, you can panic and be like, okay, well, if I do get the Robo Bay, the game's just over. I've won. Versus me killing off, as many probes as I possibly can and then defending a counterattack. Unfortunately, though, he just handled himself poorly there. It was a judgment call. It didn't work out that well. But maybe we're going to see some Reaver play here from JF. JF, of course, not going with the norm. Since we emphasized so much his Reaver play throughout the TSL, and he was kind of noted for that in the first TSL, it was actually a very intelligent move to do an all-in DT build, because that's the last thing anybody's going to expect. So, there are a little bit of mind games going on there as well.
That's right. I hope that JF kind of cleans up his play this game. Really bad decision made there. If it was a panic thing, that's weird, because JF, he is not a panicker, man. This guy, Stoneface Killer in 2008, he's like 15, 16 years old, wins TSL against people he's been watching games of to grow up. And, what can I say? It's not common of him. So let's take a look at map 2 for the series. It is Neo Tornado, and, it's PvP, so what can we really say about this map for PvP?
It's a great map. You can do a lot of different openers, because you do have a pretty small ramp, and you don't have any cliff, so you can expand and get away with it pretty safely. It is one of these maps where the main can be harassed by Reavers pretty easily. There's a lot of places to slip that in, so we might see some different play styles here. It's also a map that we can see a very long PvP. Full tech tree, macro battles, big positioning war. So that might be very exciting to see as well. But you never know with these guys. So much about PvP is decided with the opening build orders, and then we just got to go from there.
All right, well, I have a good Plexus stat for you on this map. PvP is at exactly 50% wins on here.
Oh my god,
yeah,
this
man.
map is so balanced.
I know. All right, well, let's get this game started and see this perfectly balanced map for this mirror matchup. All right, here we go. This is the PokerStrategy.com Team Liquid Star League, the round of 8, game number 2, JF against White-Ra. For those of you who do not follow the foreigner scene a whole lot, Yefnage, that is JF. Yefnage is his name, GNFA, backwards, because he's a little kid and he made a horrible ID, so we call him JF. He is against White-Ra, who is not a little kid. He is, in fact, the exact opposite. He is an old man, up at about 29 years old, I think, right now. The oldest Gosu player in the foreigner scene, who, in fact, beat the oldest pro gamer in Korea, Boxer, on TV. So this guy, he has his AARP card, and it says Gosu on it.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize that was just his name spelled backwards. Yefnage. It does kind of have that kind of spooky playing the record backwards sound to it, like Yefnage. But maybe that was intimidating back when he was 15. But some of the names that these players get stuck with.
I know, right? Some people have horrible IDs.
There is an infamous StarCraft player with the name Testy, so we have all sorts of names out there.
You just get stuck with it, man. You make this ID, you get famous, and like and the